If the previous movies were good, this is where they start to get great, in my opinion at least. X-Men First Class was released in 2011, directed by Matthew Vaughn, starring James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, and Jennifer Lawrence. And I personally think that this is one of the best in the series by far. I know a lot of people share this opinion with me. A lot of people think this is the best in the series. So let's go ahead and start this review off, starting off with the good. And there's just a lot to love here. If the first two movies in this franchise were good, like I said, this movie is just great. First of all, you get James McAvoy as Charles Xavier, a younger version of him, obviously. And I thought he was great here. James McAvoy is a very talented actor. He has proven time and time again why he's always picked for roles, because he's just so good in everything he does, and he's great here as a younger Xavier. I love his character arc and going through what he does. And then you got Michael Fassbender as a young Magneto, and he is fantastic as well. Probably the best performance in this movie, and also the later movies that include him as well. But regardless, he is fantastic here. This is definitely more his movie than it is anybody else's. Because apparently this movie started out as a Magneto origin movie, but after Wolverine Origins didn't win anybody over, they changed it to First Class instead of just a Magneto movie. But either way, I love Magneto in this movie. Michael Fassbender knocks it out of the park. He's just as great as Ian McKellen, in my opinion. And then you got other characters in this movie as well. First, you got Rose Byrne in this movie as Moira McTaggart. She's really good as well. I really like her chemistry with James McAvoy. You got Nicholas Hoult as a younger Hank McCoy, or Beast. He's fantastic. I love Hank McCoy. He's one of my favorite X-Men, and he's great here. I love Nicholas Hoult in the role. And you get Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique, and I know a lot of people aren't a fan of Jennifer Lawrence or her performance as Mystique. I really liked her in this movie. I thought that she did a good enough job with what she was given. Like I said before, Mystique's not one of my favorite characters of all time, but when she's used well, and she's definitely used very well here. I loved Jennifer Lawrence's performance. I loved her chemistry with both Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy, and with Nicholas Hoult as well. And then you got the main villain in this movie, Sebastian Shaw, played by Kevin Bacon. And I love Kevin Bacon. He's one of my favorite actors. And he does a really great job as the villain. He's so sinister and evil. You just love to hate him at this point in the movie. He's fantastic in the role. And then the rest of the X-Men in the movie are pretty good as well. You got Havoc in here. You got Banshee. They're both really good. They are entertaining screen presences. Darwin deserved better. That's not a negative. I just was not a fan of how they did Darwin in this movie. Just really odd. And then aside from the characters, you get a really great story. Like I said, it started out as a Magneto origin movie, but they changed it around after Wolverine Origins didn't exactly win any awards. I thought that they changed it for the better, honestly. I loved Magneto's origins in this movie. It's still very much a Magneto origin movie, but it's also very much an X-Men movie. And I just love the team dynamic that every character has with each other within the X-Men. I loved their banter, their back and forth, their camaraderie. And I just really love the action sequences as well. They're very thrilling. The visual effects are top notch, and I expect nothing less from Matthew Vaughn. He's one of my favorite directors. I was not a fan of Argyle this year, but that's aside from my point. Matthew Vaughn is a fantastic director. He's one of my favorites, and he handled the X-Men very well, in my opinion. And also, you get a really fun cameo from Wolverine in this movie. This is the first X-Men movie where Wolverine is not a main character, but you still get a really fun cameo from Hugh Jackman where they try to recruit him for the team and he just tells them to go fuck themselves, and that's the end of it. And I really love that whole scene. And then we get a really good score and soundtrack. Fantastic, but Matthew Vaughn is a great soundtrack designer. I really love the songs he picks for the soundtrack, and the score, fantastic as well. But that's about all for the good. On to the bad. And there's one thing I wasn't a fan of in this movie, and it's, aside from Sebastian Shaw, all the other villains are forgettable. But the biggest mistake they made with the villains in this movie was January Jones as Emma Frost. No hate to January Jones as an actress, but the way that they portrayed Emma Frost in this movie, I have no use for it whatsoever. But that's about all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. I love this movie. It would be perfect if it weren't for the handling of Emma Frost. X-Men First Class is a fantastic movie. It's one of my favorites in the franchise. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on X-Men First Class. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have seen it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.